Hi, everyone. Welcome to day two of our talks. We have a lineup of fresh speakers ready to go. First up, we have a team of five from our title sponsor, Blibli.com, talking about why you don't need native apps anymore. We have Hidayat from Research and Development Technical Architect, Ellie, um, Software Engineers, Alex, R&D Tech Lead Principal. So Blibli is one of Indonesia's largest e-commerce players, and they will tell you about why Blibli thinks this way and designs their apps accordingly. So team, you're up.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. So, welcome to our session here. So, I'm Fabi from Blibli.com. Today, we're going to present about the title is quite clickbait. Like why we don't need an native apps anymore? Like why we don't need Android developer anymore. That we can joke about it, but we'll see on the following slides why what the reason why we can minimize the usage of Android native apps. So uh, this is a disclaimer. So editing presented here is part of self opinion. So it doesn't do not necessarily reflect this of Libby.com. Okay. So we are coming in a group. So not only me, it will be a quite large troop. From left to right will be Stally, Hans, Andy, and myself. So we are part of the Blibli Web Guild. So Blibli is it's organized like in Spotify, if you've heard about it. So we have the squad, the tribe, and so on. So this the Blibli Web Guild producing several remarkable solutions. For example, the homepage of Blibli is part of the Blibli Web Guild result. So right now, Stelly and Hans are experienced in the product we're gonna share today. So uh, I'm gonna present now about the introduction first. Okay, this is contents. We I'm gonna explain a bit. Of course, you know about this one problems with apps. Why apps is problematic for nowadays solution, and then the other solution, and then another the ultimate solution, we're gonna present. And then afterwards, you're gonna have the step by step guide. This it is part of the workshop. We'll have some demo, and last part is the question and answer. Okay. It's quite long actually. I made it long, but the point is that it's hard to have a real native apps developer. For example, uh, the apps itself is requiring a lot of different skill set. They have a different language. They have a lot of different terms and stuff. So having another part of development team with different skill set is another burden kind of to the system to the company. So right now it is quite hard to find a apps developer. And then the bundle size is huge. If you see the Blibli at the right side here, the Blibli is bundled at 300 megabytes. It's huge. Like maybe you don't feel it because you're downloading through a Wi-Fi, but it is huge. For the lower end people, I mean lower end devices, it is going to be hard to download this size, including this one, the 28 megabytes. For example, we have only like 32 gigabytes of RAM or 8 gigabytes of RAM. We cannot reach that kind of user, so they cannot really install the apps. So we're gonna have to do something else to have a smaller size of bundle. And then user has to click update to update the system, and then there's a step of free approval of every version upgrade. So a lot of steps to do, and a lot of uh, uh, manual process need to be done by the user to get the system updated. And we've heard a lot complain about it is slow at low end devices because of course we design with the newer version of SDK, and maybe not the very low end testing devices. So still a question how to reach that low end devices, and then some compatibility issue. So this is part of the problem with apps. Of course, apps has a lot of benefits, but we're gonna focus on the bad side for now. Okay. This is for example also the Facebook has 454 megabytes. So maybe we thought like it is small. Facebook is small, but when we saw the size, oh, it's big. So we actually download the size just to get online. And for example, also the Instagram has 148 uh, megabytes. Also, it's like huge. However, Facebook provided the version, a light version, although it's still like 22 megabytes. So having a native app is quite big. This presentation will be not compatible, fit with this kind of people. For example, the startup that is wanting to deliver fast apps. I mean, a fast and agile application, so they don't need to build in a very long time to get it on board. Or a small company with the existing responsive mobile friendly web. So, or a company who wants to extend the customer base to the lower end, for example, Blibli. And then the mobile first company, of course, that want to launch everything first for the apps. And then this is the cue that this is for the web tech lovers that love web technology rather than coding in Kotlin or in Android. And then people who don't want to write code twice. So we usually code for web and then we code for app. Okay, one solution is using React Native. People say we code in web and then just make it like bundle it in an app in with React Native. Actually, in reality, React Native is not a web. It is an entirely rewritten of JS DOM. So you will find that it is actually quite weird in terms of like it is different behavior. It has different behavior with the web. It will be compiled with into a native apps. Semi, I say semi. So I'm like I don't know the real underlying when we build it, but they built the native one and then some a part of it is kind of semi native still in web. The bundle size is huge. Also, you will need to add at least 20 megabytes just for the library. It is very slow in many cases. Like not very different with just loading a regular web. So what is the benefit of using React Native if it is slow? And then we still need to rewrite existing web. So when people say that just write web and then put it on apps, in real, no, not like that. You have to convert your apps web again into a React compatible app. So it's like not very portable in a way. And then I say again, it's not a web, so it's not a web. So this is for web loving people. And then Ionic, okay, it is good. I still agree with it. However, it is still huge. Like, and nowadays technology, it is already supporting the uh, high advanced features. For example, what supported only in Ionic now supported already in native browser. So jQuery is already old, so we don't use that kind of thing anymore. Including this one, it is old. So I don't know. We're gonna start proposing a new one here. Okay. This is the one. Maybe you've heard about it. The TWA, Trusted Web Activity. Maybe you've heard like, oh, it's kind of. I've heard about this before. PWA, of course. So it's like PWO, TWA is quite similar. So basically, TWA is a next version of PWO, kind of. So you have the PWO website, and then you convert it into TWA. So that's that basic concept. So you can have a running website and then make it an apps. It is still different from WebView. You will see why it is different, and it is fast because it is using the native API from the browser. So the two steps is first you have to have the PWA criteria, and then we have to make a APK. So that's the basic steps for it, like only two steps. That's why we can present it in 1 hour or less here. We have example on Blibli. We call it the Blibli Mitra. You can open it up. It's like mitra.blibli.com. We have the same code base for both like apps and web. So it is remarkable. Uh, it has only like 2.3 megabytes installation size, and then you see like the version is only 1.1. We never upgrade the version because we can live update or live upgrade it. without any requiring a user to click update. So because it is web. So just as I said, we're gonna make the P disappear and place a T there. Next slide will be presented by my friend, my teammate Hans, about the PW, and the next one will be the step-by-step guideline from Sally. So, okay, Hans, go on.
Oke, hello guys, selamat pagi semua. Oke, so hari ini saya bakal introduction mengenai PWA. Thank you Mr. Feby for the short introduction about PWA. Now let's start dive into PWA or Progressive Web App. Sorry. According to Google, PWA is a latest technology to combine the best of web and mobile apps. Think of it a website built using web technologies, but that acts and feels like an app. If we see in this diagram, PWA is like a bridge between mobile apps and web apps. PWA enable us to create a website that feels like mobile apps. So for example, you can add your website to your home screen, access the website without internet connection, or even like receiving push notification just like a normal mobile apps. We are also prepare our demo to show to you all in the middle and at the end of the presentation to help you understand better about PWA. Okay. According to Google also, we have some criteria that we have to fulfill to fully active the PWA features. The first one is you have to make sure that your website is secured by using HTTPS. The second one, you should have a standard manifest JSON data. We are going to learn more about this in the next slide. The third one, we have to provide offline support by implementing service workers because PWA should feel like a native app. We must make sure that our website have an offline support. Okay, the fourth one is Lighthouse performance score with minimum 80 to 100. Why this one is really matters? Because PWA target market is a mobile user. Sadly, most of mobile user in Indonesia sometimes still using 3G network connection and also low performance device. Since nowadays modern framework like Vue or React and Angular are using client-side rendering, so it will be impacting the performance in customer device. So this is the manifestation, the web app manifestation file that tells the browser about your progressive web app and how it should behave when installed on the user device or mobile device. Manifest.json contains some information that are used in PWA requirements such as name, short name, background, and etc. It also contains list of icons that will be used at when you add to home screen. On the left, you can see the simple manifest JSON data. We have many different icon size here because PWA expected to be installed can be installed in desktop, tablet, or mobile web. We have to input many kinds of icon with different size. The PWA will choose the best version icon based on the device size icon. This is how to check the manifest JSON in Chrome DevTools. We can go to Chrome DevTools, inspect element on your website, then go to application tab. And in the left side, in the manifest section, as you can see here in the middle, this is the manifest section. All the data that we are input earlier, we can check it here. Also, if there is a warning or an error in your manifest JSON file, should be appear here. On the top, error like a missing app name. If you forgot to add your app name, should be error here. Or warning if you wrong input the format image. For example, your image is too large for the icon. Okay. This is a service worker. Service worker is a script that your browser run in the background separate from web page whose features do not need a web page or user interaction. To give a simple definition, service worker is a JavaScript file that runs in the background. That's why service worker script will have a different thread from app.js script because it's run on the different thread than the from the main thread. Service worker cannot do DOM manipulation, but it can listen to the event and trigger the app.js to do something for DOM manipulation. Service worker also can listen to complex event like push notification. This is the service worker lifecycle for the first visit. You can see in the slide. Make sure that service worker script is located equals to the index.html path. This one, service worker JS, should be the same path as the index.html. First, we have to validate this window navigator object. Is the service worker is supported or not in our browser? You can check the list of available browser with caniuse.com. Should be appear what browser it's supported to the service worker. If the service worker is supported on your browser, the app.js will register and will register the service worker with the navigator window object to the browser. After that, the install event will be triggered. For this demo, we are using Vue CLI template with pre-catch strategy to catch the app content, so it will be available in offline mode. I think Create React app also use this strategy, the pre-catch strategy. After that, the service worker will be trigger an active event. After the active event is done, service worker will fully active and will listening to every event that trigger is. For example, like push notif. Okay, continuing from the previous slide. Now this is the life cycle for a second visit on the page reload after already register and you reload the page. The app.js will also trigger the registration, but because the service worker already registered, it will skip the install event and active event. Should be all listening to the event. Okay, right. This is a Lighthouse metric. Lighthouse metric is an open source automatic tool for improving the quality of web page. Lighthouse is used to test our PWA requirement. The metric that we see in this report is performance metric and PWA checklist here. Lighthouse is really great tool for us because when we generate our report for our website, it also gives us the suggestion on how to improve our website and how to pass all the PWA criteria. Here are the example results for our demo website. Our website is garudahack.hansegita.com. Okay, so this is the end. I will demo our PWA app to you guys. Okay, so this is our app garudahack.hansegita.com. We create a simple PWA that show us some of list data about Star Wars. It's showing people list, planet list, and also the species list. Okay, just to recap what we will doing in the manifest.json configuration, go to application and choose the manifest. This should be our manifest.json. You can see this is the identity, the name, short, presentation, and also list of the icon with different size from small to really big to big. Okay, if we can see, we pass all the validation in manifest.json. There is no error here. And then under manifest JSON, there are service worker section, if we can see. If you can see, the service worker status is active and it's already running. After make sure that service worker is running and manifest JSON, there are no errors anymore. We can try to test our offline support. Okay, we can go to network here, and we try to offline this website. Already offline, and now we try to refresh our page. Okay, I think the offline support is active now. If you can see, it still respond to us. I think we are already passed all the criteria, and now I will try to generate our website report with Lighthouse. You can install the Chrome DevTool, the Lighthouse here. I will use it. We wait to the Lighthouse to generate our report. Looks like what we are seeing here is performance and progressive web app, but we are going to focus about the progressive web app. If we can see, all the PWA checklist it's already up and running, so that's why this application it's already approved the PWA. I think that's all about me introducing about PWA. Okay, I think my partner Staley will continue the presentation on how to convert this PWA application to TWA app with Android Studio. Okay, go on Staley. Thank you all. Terima kasih.
Hey, Steli. Just a quick reminder, your mic is muted right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Let me recall what I've said before.
All
right. Hi, everyone. Just a quick information about me. My name is Tali, and currently I'm working as a front-end developer for official store feature in Blibli.com. Anyway, thanks, Hans, for explaining us about the PWA functionality. Now our goal is to make our website can be uploaded in the Google Play Store. To achieve that, actually, we need our website to become in the APK versions or Android package version. So to do that, we can achieve it by using the custom tab from the Chromium. So our goal is from the left side. When we open the website only on the Chrome, now we can open our website using the Android app. Okay, how we could do that? So basically there are three ways to do that. The first one is obviously we need to create an Android project for Android Studio. So first you run the Android Studio like usual and click the start a new Android Studio project. And then you choose the add no activity one and then just click next. And then you can fill the form as usual, like the name will be the name of application that will be shown after you download the applications, the package name, the location of the project, and also the language. You shouldn't care about the language at all because we are not coding at Java or Kotlin. But one thing that you should concern about is the minimum API level. So the minimum API level should be at least 16 because below that, I'm afraid the TVA, the functionality is not supported. So after that, we must install some dependency. Because the TWA function uses Java 8 feature, so we need to add Java 8 in our applications in the build Gradle in the project one. And then we also need to add two more dependency about the Android X browser and the Android browser helper to activate the custom tab feature. And also at the last, we need to add the Maven one. After that, we must launch the TVA functionality by adding some information to our Android manifest.xml. So basically, when you start the project with the no activity, this part should be blank, and we should fill it by using activity tag inside the application tag. So it should be a child of the application tag. The two things that you should consider is the first meta tag that will launch the URL if the user open the Android app. And the second one is the intent filter that allow the trust web activity on intents, Android intents to open the website that we serve. And now your apps is already working fine, and the website can be downloaded or built as the APK. But the main problem in here is it will show the toolbar that as can be shown in the middle screenshot. So as we can recall before, the meaning of the trust web activity is to open the Android website inside your Android app by using the custom tab feature. So we still have the URL bar or the toolbar here. So basically, custom tab and the web view is actually have a same similarity, but the difference is in the custom tab, it's allow the developer to custom and enhance the experience of the website itself. So it can manipulate the toolbar color, the open and exit animation, and also custom action. But if you want to consider whether I should use the web view or custom tab, the tips from the Chromium team is if you want to show the URL inside that or have same domain as your website or inside your website, you should choose the web view. But if you want to open the other URL or the content that being served by other website, you should consider the custom tab one. So to remove the URL or toolbar in top of the website, we need to create an association between your app and your website. Trusted in the trusted web application words means that the content must be trusted. What is being mean by the content must be trusted? So it's expected to have the same content from the same developer. So we must need to have some key to make sure that it came from the same developer. To do that, we must there are two steps. The first one is to establish the association from the website to the app, and the other way, in the other ways. For the website itself, we can do that by adding some digital asset link statement to the string.xml file. As we can see in this, that we must put the URL front end here, so it can identify which URL that being served. And the second one is we add the metadata again, but the difference is now inside the application tag, not inside the activity tag. And the last is we just generate the file key store to get the fingerprint. So to generate the file key store, you just need to go to the build menu and click the generate sign APK. The next step is you just choose the Android app bundle and create some key store if you don't have it, or you can choose existing. Just press this button. If you don't have the key store, you just can generate the new one by clicking the create new. And you just can insert some key store path, or if you want to custom the path, you just click the file directory in the right side and choose whether you want to store it, and insert the password, the confirm password, the key, the password, and also some information about the developer. This information will be needed when you upload your APK to the Google Play Store. So make sure you write it correctly. And now you can generate your file key store by using this command inside your app folder. And if it's working well, it should be look like this. And the important thing is this line of code, which is the fingerprint that will be need to store in the website. So that is from the application side. So what's about the website? For the website, we need to generate the digital asset link in the JSON format. So to generate that, we can directly go to these apps, this link, and just fill some forms about the hosting domain, the app package name, and also the fingerprint that we already created or generated before. And just click the generate statement, and it will be showing some JSON that we need to be stored inside the static or public, so it can be accessed by using this /.wellknown/asset_link JSON. And now you can finally you can generate your APK and upload it to Play Store. And I will show you how to generate your APK. The first one is you just go to the build menu again, generate the APK, and also you choose the second one, so the second option, and you just put the key store password that you already registered before. And you can choose the build variant that you needed. But for the Google Play Store, I think you just need the release one and the APK format. And you just need to wait, and it will be inside your app and the release folder and the app.release APK. Now you just need to register your APK to your Google Store like usual. Now I will show you some demo of what we already explained to you before. Let's move on to the screen. This is the code. Okay, so this is the APK that we already generated before. We just need to run in some emulator. Right now I'm running in emulator, or you can use your phone, use the USB debugging. It's just your choice. And then just drag and drop to the emulator. It will install the APK, and we will see the APK that we installed before, and we run it like an app, and voila, it's appearing like a website, like a native app, and your user itself can differentiate whether it's web or the app itself, and it's working like an app. Okay, I think that's all from me. I give it back to Mr. Fabi. Your microphone is mute.
I see. Sorry. Thank you for your sharing, remarkable sharing from Blibli Web Guild team, Hans and Stelly. So coming to the next session, I think it's gonna be Q question and answer. Is there any question from the floor, Nicholas? Okay, while waiting for the question. Oh, okay, there's one question. Can we implement SPA together with PWA or TWA? Okay, I think I will give to Stally. Okay, Stally, bring up again. Sally, are you there?
Yeah, sorry. Just recap on this. So the question from Aldo Harinata. Thank you, Aldo, for asking. Can we implement it SPA together with the PWA and TWA? Yes, absolutely. Because actually, for the PWA itself and the TWA, it's just running like usual web browser. But the difference is you can add to your home screen, or you can it's downloadable from your Google Play Store. So yeah.
So as mentioned in the beginning also, to get to TWA, you have to build the PWA first. So that's the prerequisite for the TWA. So usually we can make it into a web view, but from our presentation that you see that actually Google supported it by default, like natively in the browser and in the Android, that you can just embed your link and then it is running well. Just need some tweak and certificate exchange to get working. Okay. Any other question maybe? Okay, let me bring up our head of engineer, Andy, I think. Andy, come up. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, it's clear, a lot and clear.
Okay.
So maybe just kind of discussion here, like uh, do we have a real implementation, and how far we've implemented this TWA, and also the effect of this, like the cut cost? Maybe you can tell us about it.
Okay. So probably about the maybe we should make it clear first about the title of this presentation. It's a bit like a clickbait, but we are doing it intentionally. So
Yes, 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 yes. It's a
interesting.
clickbait a lot.
Yeah. So if anyone asks like, does Blibli doesn't have full native apps anymore? Well, we still need full native apps for Blibli. It's for sure, no doubt about it. Because there are features that are still relying heavily on native codes. For example, our NFC features in
Oh, for
Indonesia.
the e-money, right? Yes.
Yeah, in Indonesia we use those NFC features a lot. We use it to top up our e-money card, and we can use the e-money card to pay when you go to like a public bus, public train, even when you go in the highways. But like if you ask us, would we do it differently if this technology was available like few years ago when we started, like if it's already available since 2011, 2010, will we do it differently? The answer is yeah, definitely we will do it differently. We will probably start with a TWA instead of a full-blown native app. So uh, the benefit of TWA is actually when you're starting new ideas, new line of business that you're still not sure, it's kind of a bet, and you don't want to spend too much effort into it. Just like when you're doing a hackathon or you're a startup coming up with a new product that for sure you don't realize on specific native app feature like NFC, and then your target market is not mainly iOS users. It's actually like a no-brainer decision. Like just go ahead with TWA, and you kind of get the best of both worlds. Like you have your web app, and you can rely on the SEO and everything, and get it searchable on Google search. But then you also get a presence of your products on Google Play Store. It's like two channels for one effort. And in fact, in Blibli, we also apply those lean startup concepts. We did it with one of our new line of business. It caters to the need of the individual small store owners, like small mom and pop store owners, to replenish their inventory. I think it's mentioned earlier on the slide, the Blibli Mitra. Yeah, I hope that make it clear about our stance about native apps versus web versus TWA. I think that's for me, Fabi.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, boss. He's my boss, actually. VP of engineer. So just add a bit more. So we still have this kind of app thing that we put it in Play Store, because usually nowadays people don't Google it, but they put in Play Store and then click something in the search bar. So we found that kind of cases many also, and supporting both world, like the web and the apps together. It's good. So okay, coming up, another question from the floor. What was Blibli most notable implementation of PW and TBW? So what is the like most significant kind of or milestone for from your point of view, boss?
Okay. So PWA, PWA, right? So I think one of the main stuff we did on PWA is probably our homepage slide. It's not really fully everywhere, right? It's just on our homepage slide first. We did that because we see like if new customers coming to Blibli, we need to give them the fastest possible response time. We don't even fully load the usual web homepage. So, for example, you can give it a try by opening your incognito window on your mobile phone and just open the blibli.com. It will load like the minimum, the fastest version. But once you refresh and go around the pages, will start loading more of a complete version. So that's one of how the PWA really affects us. The other one, the most significant TWA, is the Blibli Mitra. You can Google it in the Play Store. You see Blibli Mitra. You see an apps, and in open it, it looks like an apps. But if you go to a browser and open like mitra.blibli.com, it's a web, but like both are exactly the same. The apps in the Google Store is actually a TWA apps. That's the new line of business that I was talking about earlier. I hope that can answer the question.
Okay, cool. So the PWA is like quite memorable for me because I was part of it, the project. We were inspired by the Netflix landing page. So Netflix doesn't use the full blown page for landing page, the first coming user. They use a very very light version of it, and we kind of copy the idea from it. And we got praised by the some of the top developer that Blibli is very fast, just for the first impression, and that's quite good for our marketing kind. Okay, next question maybe. How is the dynamics like? Is the team? I just want to ask the part of the front end developer lead here, Alex. I think. Can we bring up Alex? So Alex, it's like maybe some of you guys wonder like how is the web and app still related in Blibli? Are you guys doing work together or the same team maybe? Because you guys both are front end developers. Can you tell us about it maybe?
Yeah, hi everyone. So for our web and apps team, it's actually a different team. But since we are doing the PWA and TWA thing, we are pretty much working together very tightly. So we work together on implementing things like syncing the session between the apps and the web via WebView or other stuff. And we also do integration together with things like native web share, which is a PWA feature, the new feature. So initially, we are working separately between apps and web, but PWA enables us to work together and sort of being more lean and agile because when developing apps, you will have a lot of downtime for deployment. You need to submit to App Store, you need to wait for approval and all that stuff. But PWA enables us to just do a lot of those things via WebView, and then in WebView we integrate directly into the native app functions as well. So for the user, it is indistinguishable, and for the developers, we could move very very fast. That's mostly it. So we are working more tightly and closer because of PWA.
I see. So it's like I heard you guys have like collaboration, like a lot of collaboration. I think for the very tight deadline for campaign, right? So you were
Yeah,
just
yeah,
viewing the web in the apps, kind of like semi TWA.
yeah. So in the future, I think it's possible to go full PWA, but for now, even just using some of the features is already helping us very much.
I see. So yeah, I think we have to take both worlds benefit. App is good on experience, but web is good for the business. Okay, maybe another question
Yeah,
from the front
correct.
of you,
And
Alex. Yes, can you add more?
yeah, yeah, no, no, it's fine. Let's go to the next question.
Okay, thank you. So another question from the floor is, what is the most important aspect that needs to be present within a PWA? So what is the most part of PWA that need to go to TWO? I'm kind of confused actually, but So just this is my assumption that maybe is there any point in PWA that needs to be part of TWA? I think that it's gonna make a good TWA. So maybe Hans will answer it. Hans, you're muted.
Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan Kusuma and Mr. Febi for the question. Yeah, I think I have to recap again about the PWA. I think the most important one is the PWA checklist. You can see all the lists in the lighthouse, and also you can. I think I prefer you to find a template about this one, for the manifest and also for the service offer. Yeah, I think the important ones is from the lighthouse report. There
Lighthouse.
are, yeah, already, I think, all the checklists already documented good enough in the lighthouse.
I see. Okay, so performance is important because why the TWA requires that high score of lighthouse score in performance because it need to behave as fast as a native apps. That's the point of from Google. So another part is also the mobile friendliness. It has to be mobile friendly because if it's not responsive, Google will treat it like it is bad for a user experience. Okay, thank you, Hans, for answering it.
Thank you.
And then next question from floor is from Venkatesh Kamat, I think. How do you tackle your competitors? So what is your mindset since all these industries are going faster? So maybe I think my boss will answer for that kind of thing. So it's like more on roadmap. Okay, Andy, let's go on.
Okay, it's a interesting question. Thank you, Venkat. Now, definitely, I cannot go into very details because that would beat the purpose of beating the competition. How do I say this simply? We have like many strategies and all, but simply said, we believe in Blibli that e-commerce company cannot stand on its own. That's our like one thing that we really believe. So I hope that kind of answer it on our mindset, right? Like you need other people to be successful also for you to be successful. You cannot stand on your
Okay.
own. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically that's the principle we believe in. Okay, thank you guys.
Okay. Healthy competition is good, I think.
We believe
And
like
I
in
think everyone is doing anything right now, right?
yeah,
Every e-commerce is doing
blue,
anything.
what do you call it, like blue ocean strategy or something?
Blue Ocean? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact business
Okay,
term.
just Google it. Blue
Okay,
Ocean.
yep.
Thank you, boss, for your answer.
You.
Okay, maybe next question. So I will give Stally and Hans for the floor. I think you can replace me on the screen. My question will be, how is the challenge while you guys are developing the TWA? Maybe you can share a bit more, like maybe a few minutes.
Maybe Hans go first or me?
Okay, I can go first. Okay, so I think the PWA and TWA is a new technology for us, and it's a bit challenging. I think still a minimum documentation, and mostly me for front end engineer, mostly doing the styling one, and also the interaction in JavaScript. But right now we have to learn about the new technology like a service worker, and also we have to understand how the browser behavior, how to the service worker works, and also how to add the home screen. Yeah, I think it's the challenging one is we have to learn faster and seek for the documentation in Stack Overflow, Google, uh, and and many documentation. I think that's one the challenging for me. Maybe Sally can go on.
Uh, for me itself, because JavaScript world is changing very fast, and also the technology is changing fast, and to cope with the requirement or to solve the problem in reality, that's why we need to learn faster and more abroad, and also search for the informations itself. See, because for the TWA feature actually is very new. It's just launched like last year's, so it's very limited according to the documentation. But fortunately, the Google itself give us the developer some kind of blog where it show us the step. But yeah, we must learn very fast and keep up with the technology. That's in my opinion what is the main challenge when implementing the PWN and TWA.
Okay, I think that's a good sharing. Like, of course, a challenge is not to be afraid of. Like, it is something to be happy about. Life without challenge is like gonna be boring. Okay, I think another question from the floor. It's about the motion layout. I think Alex can we bring up. Okay, go on, Alex.
Yeah, so let me read the full question first. Can PWA run motion layout like in native apps to enhance UI UX experience? The short answer is yes, because PWA or PWA is basically just web technologies, and you could do any kind of animation like in motion layout with the current web technology, wherever it is via CSS or JavaScript. So in some frameworks, even like React, it has some stuff that enables exactly like a motion layout with all the XML and stuff. So it is possible in pretty much any framework in JavaScript or CSS to do that.
Cool then. It's like web technology is far beyond like what we've imagined. It's like started with simple web like HTML, and then now it's a blown up application, right, Alex? It's very complex
Yeah,
right now.
correct.
Please, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe another question from the floor. Thank you, Alex, for the answer. It is from Sarah, I think. I think Sally will answer it. Like, what is the best way or tips to start getting into TWA and PWA development? It's like, how do we start? Like, maybe we are confused. We start doing this thing? Can you explain from experience?
Okay, honestly, like I said before, the technology was new, and the research or the developer who are using it's really limited. So we only can cope with the documentations and also the Chromium block that already provided by the Chrome team. So maybe my tip is first you just do it as is instructed in the documentations, and try to follow it step by step, and also try to download and run it first smoothly, because to run it first is really hard because sometimes there is bug appears, and when the bug is appears, the third step for me is read the documentation again, or search to the Stack Overflow, asking to some
Okay.
developers. Yeah, I think that's for me. See,
I see.
when I
Yeah.
first started.
So from my experience, also, we should start from PWA first. Like install a Lighthouse and then try to figure out what can be optimized first, right? And then if it is PWA compatible, and then start with the TWA that Stally has presented. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you, Stally, for your info.
Oh,
Next question is for uh, the AI, I think. Oh, I think Stally again. It is quite unrelated with uh, with our topic, but what are your views on implementation of artificial intelligence on this platform? Do you have any experience on it?
actually, no, because my background itself doesn't related to the AI. So far as I know that um, the latest one that you are using is the offline mode, or where it want to solve problems where the some country that doesn't have the high speed of internet. I think the latest technology is want to cope that, but for the I think no. Maybe we should wait for that. See.
Okay, yeah, I think the computation power is very limited nowadays, even especially for the mobile. But we'll see. I think we will have another session for this discussion for the AI in web, of course. That's a very broad topic, I think. Okay, maybe one more question, the last one. Okay. Oh, maybe from the AI, I think I want to explain a bit from our experience also. We had projects like we had kind of a hackathon in our company that one of the team, maybe two of the team, I think, if I remember, they made the algorithm for the Jigsaw, like a sort of path algorithm run on the browser. So it is not impossible, but we'll see for the next advancement. But yeah, you can run it, of course. You can run everything in JavaScript. Okay. Yeah, the last one will be about the deliver update to customer on PWA. Most of the case, even if deliver update, some customer might don't get it since it's cached by service worker. Okay, maybe Hans can wrap. It is maybe the last question. Okay, Hans, come up.
Yes. Sorry, I need to share my screen to better explaining
Okay,
to us.
okay, switch the screen maybe to Hans.
Hi guys. So thank you for the question. So how the service worker, so how the web know there is an update? We can see to the source in our website and source and go to the service worker. And when build our code, it should be create a pre-catch manifest here. And also in every file that we catch, it's have a revision here. The revision here is unique. So if the service worker get an fetch event and see the revision is different, it will be automatically update the file in here. So the file, for example, like CSS, there is an update for that because it have a different revision. The CSS file should be automatically updated to the customer after refreshing the page. I think
Okay.
that's all. The revision. This is
Okay.
the
Maybe
key
just
to
I
know
will
the
add
update.
more. You can cache everything, but you shouldn't cache the service worker.js and the list of the files to be pre-cached, because every time you open a tab in the web, it will reinstall everything from the first time. So it is like the basic procedure of a website. It will reinstall the service worker. So if it is not cached, it is going to be downloading from the original site. So cache everything except the service worker. That's all. Okay, I think that covers everything. Thank you, Hans, Steli, Andy, and Alex for your sharing of knowledge. Like, it is very fun to have it to show how we do it in Blibli. Do you have any closing statement, Andy?
Yep. So basically, thank you for everyone for joining and spending your time with us. It's great questions. And if you have some more questions, I put the link on the YouTube comments. You can visit us and connect with us on Slack. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you
Bye,
very
thank
much.
you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.